Hello, here's a bunch of keyboard shortcuts I use pretty much every time I open Blender. Press G to move an object, R to rotate it, and S to scale it. You can lock these transforms to a particular axis by pressing X, Y, or Z after starting the transform. You can lock the transforms to two axes at once by holding Shift and pressing the opposite axis. For example, to move a cube only on the X and Y planes, press G, then press Shift Z. You can also type exact amounts using the numpad. When you're done transforming, hit Ctrl A to apply the transform. This is important when following up with other tools like modifiers or insetting. They won't work correctly unless you apply transforms. Shift A lets you add new objects quickly to the scene. Shift R repeats the previous operation. Enter edit mode by pressing Tab. In edit mode, select a face and press E to extrude it. Press Alt E and select Extrude along normals to extrude each face outward along its normal. Use Ctrl R to add an edge loop. Scroll the mouse wheel to increase the number of cuts. Ctrl B bevels an edge or corner, and again you can use the mouse wheel to increase the resolution of it. If you want to bevel a single vertex, hit Ctrl B, then press V. While in edit mode, 1, 2, and 3 switch between vertex, edge, and face selection modes. Delete an object or geometry with X. Dissolve geometry with Ctrl X. This is useful when fixing topology. Close open edges by selecting the loop and hitting F. You can use Ctrl F and select Grid Fill to have Blender automatically detect the edges and fill them appropriately. Use the middle mouse to pan around. Hold Shift to translate and use the scroll wheel to zoom in or out. The Z key opens a radial menu to select the display mode. Alt-Z enables X-ray view, which is useful when trying to select an occluded object. The numpad offers various operators for positioning the view. 1 for front view, 3 for side view, and 7 for top view. Hold Ctrl while pressing one of these to view the opposite side. Or hit 9. 5 switches between perspective and orthographic views. The dot centers the frame on the selected object. 0 jumps to camera view. If you hold Ctrl, Alt, and press 0, you move the camera to the current view. Blender has powerful selection tools. Hit A to select all objects. In edit mode, this selects all vertices, edges, or faces, depending on which mode you have selected. Hold Alt and left click to select an edge loop. This works in both edge and face select mode. Press Shift G to open the Select Similar menu, which has multiple advanced selection tools like Select Coplanar. Ctrl I inverts the selection. While in edit mode, the I key insets a face. Press it again to toggle individual insetting on or off. While mousing over a property, the I key creates a keyframe in the timeline. Speaking of the timeline, you can navigate it with the left and right arrow keys. Holding Shift jumps to the start or end frame. Spacebar will start or stop playback. Press T or N to open the left or right side panels for each viewport. These contain extra properties and are also where your add-ons are located. In edit mode, select faces and hit U to bring up the unwrapping menu. Each of these have individual shortcuts. For example, cube unwrapping has the shortcut C, so hit U, C to do it quickly. You can bring up the operator menu by pressing F3, then search for whatever you want. Shift S opens the radial menu for controlling the 3D cursor, and includes options for moving the selected object to the cursor. You can also hold Shift and right click to manually move it. Shift D duplicates an object. Alt D creates an instance, which uses less resources. Note that any change you make to the original will also apply to the instances. Finally, F12 renders a single image and Ctrl F12 renders an animation. If you find this content valuable, please like and subscribe so I know to make more. Thanks everyone. I hope you found the video helpful.